Hey, it's Jess. Welcome back. Today I am here with a horror reading vlog. I have a couple horror books that are on my TBR that I want to finish and read, and so I'm gonna watch me read them. The first one I have is Pen Pal by Dathan Auerbach. I have wanted to read this book for so long. I know it is not a new book. I don't remember when it came out. Long time ago. And by long, I mean like, not long, but I mean, yeah, okay, 2012. Long time ago. I've wanted to read it for a long time. Kept putting it off at the library. Finally found it at the library and decided to pick it up. So I will be reading this and talking about this. This is about a man who's talking about his past when he was in kindergarten. They did this like class project where they sent letters into the woods and encouraged people to send them back. And then he starts getting like creepy pictures. Instead of a letter back, he starts getting creepy pictures back. And it kind of just like goes on for several years of his life, I think. I don't know, but it's a fairly short book and I've wanted to read it for years and I've heard good things about it, so I'm excited. I finally found it at the library and picked it up. I also have Wake Up and Open Your Eyes by Clay McLeod Chapman. This is his newest book. It came out in January. This is about a man whose parents have fallen like way down into the right wing rabbit hole, and one day his mom is not, like, none of them are responding to his phone calls or texts, so he drives to see them and he finds them like in a crazy trance watching this TV channel called Fax News, and I think it's all about like cult brainwashing. So somewhat appropriate at this time in America's life. Heard really good things, heard some not so good things. I have heard very mixed reviews of this book. I've heard some parts are very graphic. Clay McLeod Chapman kind of has some books like that. This will be the third book of his that I've read. Definitely has some graphic scenes in his other books. I've read Ghost Eaters and What Kind of Mother. So I don't know. I've been hearing about it. Finally got it from the library. Can't wait to read it. The last book I have is Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix. This is his newest book. Also came out in January. This is set in the 70s, I think 1970, I think. And it is set in a home for wayward girls. So basically teenage girls who got pregnant, they would be sent to this home and sent away for the summer so that they could have their baby and give their baby up and then get sent back home to their home. And because, you know, unwed mother pregnancy, very taboo in the 70s. Still taboo today. Anyway, so you're following this group of girls who are at this home, and one day the bookmobile comes and the librarian gives one of our characters a book about witchcraft, and then they turn into witches. So that's that book. I am really excited to read that one. I love Grady Hendrix. I have adored almost everything of his that I've read. He does such a good job of writing horror, but like comedy and camp together. Still scary in some parts, very graphic in some parts. There are some scenes that he has written that will not leave my head. And so I'm excited to see what he does with this one. But that's all I have for now. This is my introduction. I am going to get started reading. I think I'm going to start with Pen Pal, just because I've had it the longest and I need to take it back to the library and I've wanted to read it the longest. So I'm going to start with Pen Pal and then we'll see where we go from there. I'm going to go read and I'll check back with you soon. All right, bye. Hey, I'm checking in with Pen Pal. I'm on chapter 3, which is page 86 out of 238. These chapters are super long. This is a very weird book so far, which I knew that it was going to be weird. Basically, you're following our narrator through, they did this thing called like the Balloon Project, where they all wrote letters in like kindergarten. Oh my gosh, it got really, oh, my light died. Okay, just ignore that. Okay, my light died, so ignore that. in kindergarten, they wrote letters and attached them to these balloons and then like let the balloons go. And they encouraged people to write back if they found these letters. And so a lot of his classmates have gotten letters, but he has not gotten letters back. He's gotten pictures back. And so far he's gotten like over 50 pictures, and it's been just a couple months, which is kind of weird. It's kind of weird, y'all. So the title that I'm on right now, is about boxes. He found this stray cat and named it Boxes. I don't remember why. And so he's kind of talking about that. Oh, and he woke up and got lost in the forest, which was weird and scary because he's like 6. So hasn't been super scary yet. Didn't really expect it to be scary this early in, but definitely weird. And I just pulled my, I definitely am excited to keep reading this and see what I think of it. I'm enjoying it so far. And again, I've been wanting to read it for years and years and years and finally getting around to it. So I'm excited about that. So that's my check-in. And I'll check in with you when I have something else to say. All right, bye. Hi. Jump scare. It is a few days later since last time I updated you. Please do not mind my appearance. I was out of town at a professional conference for the last 3 days, and now I feel I just need to be a big old bump on a log slog for a little bit. So anyway, finished Pen Pal. I think I was like almost halfway through last time I updated you. I don't even remember. This book, weird. Sad. This poor child who is a man he's an adult telling the story of his life. Creepy when you think about it, because it's basically about this like this person who has been stalked his entire life, but he doesn't know he's being stalked because his mom tried to shelter him. So I don't know. Not fabulous, not horrible. Probably gonna give it like, there was one part where they were like these 2 6-year-olds alone in the woods at night. That part was scary. I'll probably give it like a 4. I'd say a 4. I would read it again. I did like it. It just wasn't fabulous, but been trying to read this book for years and years and years. Finally decided to pick it up, finally read it. So there you go. So now I am going to start Wake Up and Open Your Eyes by Clay McLeod Chapman. This is about Noah Fairchild, and his parents are far right cable news people. They're like really into it. His mother leaves him a voicemail warning him that the great reawakening is here. He assumes it's related to one of the many conspiracy theories that they believe in. When his own phone calls go unanswered, Noah makes a long drive to his home from his home in Brooklyn to Virginia. And his parents are like, have just been like sitting in front of the TV in a trance. So like there's spoiled food and the house is a mess. And then his mother attacks him, bum, 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 but apparently this is happening all over, where family members are attacking them. So it's a freaky cover. I'm excited to read this though. This is his newest release. I've read 2 other books by Clay McLeod Chapman. I said this in another video. Really liked Ghost Eaters. Was kind of just like middle of the road with What Kind of Mother. So I've heard mixed things. You can see my screensaver on my TV is Snoopy. You can kind of see him playing basketball when I do this. Hi, I'm easily distracted. Heard mixed reviews about this book. Heard that it gets pretty gruesome. There's some pretty gruesome scenes, so I'm excited. So I'm gonna start this, and I will check back in when I have something to say. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hello. Here's a check-in. This book is divided into, I believe, 3 parts. I probably should have checked this before. Yes, this book, reading this, is divided into 3 parts. And I just finished part 1, which is called Sleeper Cells. Yes, Sleeper Cells. And I'm on part 2, which is called Recruits. So, and this has nothing to do with the book, but my daughter decided that I should use my Sailor Mars. This has nothing to do with the book, but my daughter decided I should use my Sailor Mars bookmark. And it like matches because it's red and red, so yay. Anyway, yeah, this book is crazy so far. So you're following Noah. I already said this. You're following Noah. This takes place starting in December. At Thanksgiving, his parents were really rude and racist. Noah's wife is Haitian, and so their child, Kelsey, is mixed. And basically, his parents were talking about like immigration and people sneaking into the country. And obviously Noah got upset about that, and so did his wife Alicia. And so it's December 18th when this starts. He hasn't talked to his mother since Thanksgiving. Won't return her phone calls, won't even pick up the phone. She has started calling him like multiple times a day and leaving these crazy voicemails like, you need to wake up, it's time to open your eyes, the great reawakening is coming, I'm really worried about you because you live in New York and that, you know, filthy city is gonna be full of riots and be careful. Then she leaves a voicemail at 4 a.m. and he gets really concerned. So he calls her back, she doesn't answer. Calls dad, he doesn't answer. Calls his older brother, doesn't answer. Multiple times, calls his parents, they don't answer. So Noah gets worried. So he drives 7 hours to Richmond, Virginia, like a suburb right outside of Richmond, and finds his parents basically just like locked onto this TV program. And the channel that they watch is called Fax News, where it's just the facts. And basically they like won't stop watching it. And then the great reawakening happens and his parents go crazy and they attack him. And then when he gets away, he turns on the news and sees that all across the country there has been like school pew-pewings, and even in public places like at the mall or at stores across the country this is happening. And so he's like, something happened and half of the world, at least the United States, is just like off their rockers and going crazy. And that's where part 1 ends. There was definitely some disturbing parts with his mother, things that mothers should not be doing with sons. In the first part. The first part 1 was only 70 pages. I think I'm on page 70 now. Yeah, I'm on page 70 now. So the first part was pretty short. It looks like, just looking at this front page for part 2, it looks like you are following possibly, I think it is Noah's sister-in-law. So his older brother's name is Asher, they call him Ash. He is married to a woman named Devin, and they have 2 sons. And Devin's name is on the first page in this second part. So I guess we're gonna see what happened at their house when the great reawakening happened. I don't know. I like it. It's fairly easy to read. The prose and the structures are easy to read. It's not easy to read because it's like about crazy conservative cult people. And again, crazy things that moms should not do with their son. And some kind of gruesome bits, but I like it so far. I am liking this book more than I liked What Kind of Mother, which is the last book by Clay McLeod Chapman that I had read. So far, I like this one better. But now I'm going to go and keep reading, and I plan to check in at the beginning of part 3 unless something just completely bizarre happens and I feel like I have something to say, and then I'll check in before part 3. But regardless, I'm going to leave now and check in later. Okay, bye. Hello. This is the same day that I recorded earlier in a different shirt because I had tacos for dinner and I spilt taco meat all over myself because I am an adult but don't know how to eat like one. So had to get a new sweatshirt. Still reading Wake Up and Open Your Eyes. My light is blinding me. I have not finished part 2 yet. It ends on 241 and I'm on 186. So getting there, but I wanted to check in before I go to bed because I'm tired and I have to go to bed soon. I'm gonna read some more after this, but I won't check in. So yeah, this second part, you are actually following, so the first part you followed Noah. The second part, I thought it was just Noah's sister-in-law, Devin, but it's actually her, like Noah's brother, Asher, and Devin, and their 2 kids, Caleb and Marcus. And they are all, well, you don't get very many point of views from Marcus. He's the youngest one, he's 7. Caleb is 16, and then Ash and Devin are the adults. Ash, Devin, Caleb are all going down crazy rabbit holes. They're pulling apart from each other. Ash buys a brand new giant plasma TV, starts watching Fax News, first like as a joke, but now is obsessed and can't stop watching it. Also, all of this starts taking place right before Thanksgiving, I think. Hold on, let me go see. It starts taking place November 15th. So the first part, Noah's part, started December 18th. This starts November 15th. So before Thanksgiving, and then it keeps going into December, leading up to the Great Awakening, which happens on December 20th. But it's just, anyway, so Ash is going down the Fax News rabbit hole like his parents have. Devin is becoming completely obsessed with like the wellness moms on Instagram and is trying to like cleanse her body of illness and doing all these juice cleanses and yoga. And Caleb, the 16-year-old, is like been talking to this random person on Twitter about like how he's gonna be the spokesperson for the Great Awakening because this person is convincing him that he's strong and he's just what they need. And Marcus, this little 7-year-old's just like, what is happening to my family? I'm completely alone. Poor child. I really like it so far. Very much propaganda. Wake Up, Open Your Eyes is listed so many times. And like the first part, it was all coming from Fax News. This second part, it's coming from the people online that Caleb's talking to, the wellness guru that Devin is following, Fax News still. But you're definitely not going to forget the name of this book because it's written a million bajillion times, which I read another book that this happened, that this was like part of 2 where it kept repeating the title. I read it back in January. And I did not like that. I think it was the way that was woven in versus the way that this is woven in. I don't know. I listened to that other one as an audiobook, and hearing it so many times just like really put me off the way it was woven into the story. And for some reason, this one just it's not annoying me as much this time. I don't know. You know, reading is subjective. So I am going to keep reading it. This is a wild ride so far. Also, very easy to see how people can join cults. Very relatable. I am a mother. I have 2 young children. They're not super young. I have a teenager and an almost teenager. But like I definitely have been scrolling Instagram, doing the rabbit hole. How are these people, you know, they make life look so nice and easy, and they're well and they're fit and their family loves them. You know, it's really hard not to go down that rabbit hole. So although I never went to the extremes that Devin is, I can see, like, I see myself, and I think almost any millennial mom can relate to that we've gone down the rabbit hole about influencers of some way or another. I guarantee you probably have. Not just millennial moms, just I happen to be a millennial mom. And so I really relate with that part of the character story. Anyway, I'm rambling now. I am going to go to bed. I can't stop yawning. I'm going to get in bed, read a little bit more, and then go to bed. And I probably won't update you in the morning before work. I will probably not hop back on until I finish part 2. So unless something just really crazy happens in the next few pages, chapter, issues. I don't know what I'm saying because I'm tired. So, okay, I will talk to you when I'm done with part 2. Bye. Good morning. I know I said I probably wasn't going to update you before I went to work, but I finished part 2 last night, and then had to go to bed. Right after I updated you, some crazy stuff went down. What was the ending to that part? So I didn't explain that the first, it says phase 2 is called recruits. So then it has like the progression of demonic activities and eventually becomes like talking about the stages of demonic possession, basically. And so it's wow. Wow. And I just keep thinking about this poor 7-year-old boy, and it becomes obvious that the reason that the 3 family members kind of go crazy are because they are addicted to screens. So Asher, the dad, keeps watching the television. Mom, Devin, keeps going down Instagram rabbit holes. Caleb, the son, obsessed with his phone and Twitter. At the beginning of part 2, Marcus talks about how he doesn't have his own screen because Mom says he doesn't need screen time. He doesn't need one yet because he's only 7. And so that's why this poor child, 7 years old, has basically been abandoned by his family. And yeah, definitely gruesome scenes. The ending of part 2, just whoa. Where are we gonna go from here? I don't know. It looks like at least the beginning of part 3, which is called The Holy War. It looks like it's different, like police transcripts of calls to like the police or something like that. Events, like summaries of events, I'm assuming that happened during the Great Reawakening. So, really, I shouldn't read anymore this morning because I have to go to work, but I kind of want to sit here and read until I have to leave. So, you know what? I probably am gonna do that. I don't know. I'm definitely gonna finish this book today, though. It is a very fast read. I am really enjoying it. It's crazy. I don't know what else to say to describe it. It's crazy. So anyway, I will check in with you later. Okay, bye. Hello, trying to film this update. Several days past the last time I filmed. Finally finished Wake Up and Open Your Eyes. Ended up with a 4. I liked the second part. I liked the first part, liked the second part. The second part ended really creepy. And the third part kind of just drug for me. It was really weird. I don't know. I liked it, didn't love it. Now I am going to start Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix. This is his newest novel. I also found out that my best friend has the audiobook from the library for this, so we are going to do a buddy read. I don't know if you know, but if you use the Storygraph app to like track your books and stuff, they have an option where you can do a buddy read, and like anyone who joins, as you go, you put your progress and you can type notes like, whoa, didn't see that coming, or really liked this part. And you won't be able to see those notes until you've reached that chapter. So like if I get really far in it and I have something to say at 43%, my friend won't be able to see those comments until she gets to 43%. And I just think that's kind of cool. We buddy read Yellowface like this last year. And it's just, I mean, like we see each other all the time because we work together and we talk all the time anyway, but it's just a fun way to read a book. And sometimes, you know, at work, we don't have time to talk about what we're reading because we're busy talking about work stuff. Anyway, long explanation. So I'm gonna start this and I'll update you when I have something to say. All right, bye. Hello, I am checking in on Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix. I'm on chapter 8, which is 91 pages in. This is sort of set up in different parts, like we start 26 weeks, then 27 weeks. So like, it's not necessarily different parts, but it goes by weeks. And we're starting week 28 with Fern, our main character. So basically you start this book, you are following a girl named Neva. She is 15 and her family found out that she is pregnant, and so they have taken her to this home to remain the rest of her pregnancy and then get rid of the baby. Like give it up, not get rid of it, because she's 26 weeks. The mother of the house, Miss Wellwood, I think is her name. Wellwood gives all of the girls new names. They are not supposed to talk about their real names, the potential fathers, anything about their families or their past. That way no one knows that they've come to this home. So Neva has been renamed Fern and has been interacting with the other girls in this house. And it's set in the 70s, and so it's crazy. Like, the girls are all trading cigarettes. They are eating so much stuff that, like, you know, just the ideas about pregnancy and health were so different 50 years ago than it is now. So that's kind of funny to me to read. According to Storygraph, I am, I think, close to 20% into the book. Again, page 91. I just know that because I updated, since I'm doing a buddy read, I updated that I'm on page 74, or like I made a comment based around page 74 and it told me I was 15%. So I'm gonna keep reading this. I am pausing right now. I'm getting ready to leave to go see a movie with my friend. We are gonna go see, I think it's called Hell of a Summer. It's the new like comedy horror movie with Finn Wolfhard that is about like a summer camp. I think it's like a parody of slashers, like, you know, Friday the 13th and stuff like that. Always love a good horror movie, love a good horror comedy, and I love going with my friend. She and I go see a lot of movies. She is on my trivia team, so we win a lot of like snack passes and stuff like that. So, and we both have season passes to the movies, so that was my alarm to make sure that I was awake and ready and heading out the door. we each have season passes to the theater, so we get basically a free movie ticket every day. We have to pay the convenience fee, so it's $2.50. So we go see a lot of movies together, and now we're going to see this one. You don't care. I don't know why I explained that. Anyway, that was my alarm because I gotta head out the door. I'm also going to stop by the library, not pick up any more library books. I'm just gonna drop some off right now and see the movie, and then have lunch at a new ramen place and see if I can get any reading done before then. And I will check back in later. All right, bye. Hey, I'm back with a check-in. Went to the movie, hell of a summer. Good first try for writing and directing for Finn Wolfhard. I'll give them that. I loved the soundtrack. Very, very reminiscent of like summer camp horror movies. Really liked that. But it was 88 minutes and I almost fell asleep during part of it. Cause like, I feel like it didn't set up well enough that it kind of just fell flat. I don't know what that means and why it's flashing. Something's flashing on my camera and I don't know why. Anyway, after that, we went to this new like ramen place that's kind of like a ramen convenience store. So they have like a whole shelves full of ramen and you pick which one you want and then you pick your toppings, and then they have these like induction plates that like pour the water in and cook the ramen for you right there. It was really good. And my children, especially my daughter, love ramen. So that was really fun and new. They're having like a soft opening right now. They're gonna have a grand opening later this week. So that was just something new and different and I enjoyed that. Okay, back to the books. Still reading Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. I'm on chapter 14. Storygraph says I'm 32% of the way through. So after my check-in last, the mobile bookmobile came, the library bookmobile came, and the girls got to pick books out, but the books have to be approved by like the secretary, headmistress's secretary. And Fern was running out of time, they wouldn't approve any of the books that she wanted to grab. And then the ones suggested were ones she'd already read before. She's a big bookworm. Also, we met a new character and they talked about the book Dragonflight by Anne McCaffrey, which is one of my favorite books. I love the Dragon Riders of Pern series. And I found out last night, I looked it up, and that was published in 1968. So this is set in 1970. And I just thought that was fun. And, you know, I like when like my interests and loves get mingled into books, especially because I didn't expect that. This book has nothing to do with that. But anyway, so there's a Dragonflight reference and I loved that. Fern is about to get off the bus. The librarian says, "Here, I think this book is for you, but hide it so they don't take it." And it was How to Be a Groovy Witch. And so they try one spell out of it and it works because it's 4 girls. We have Holly, Fern, Zinnia, and Rose. And they're kind of like they room together. So they're kind of, you know, friends together. And so they try one spell and it works to help Zinnia. And so now they try to do more spells, but they couldn't read the book. Like they couldn't figure out what all the words meant because it was all like witch speak. I don't know how to say it. And I just ended chapter 13 and it was like a, whoa, okay. Didn't expect that. Now I really want to keep reading. So really enjoying it. Gruesome scenes because that's what Grady Hendrix does. Very graphic, gory. He really likes insects and bugs. There was a wonderful vomit scene. I just love how he writes horror, but like scary, but campy and funny. I just really like his writing. And so I'm really enjoying this one so far. But we are at 30 weeks for Fern. And again, chapter 14 about to start. Really enjoying it. I just wanted to hop back in and kind of let you know, kind of update you on how far I got and what my day looked like so far. Anyway, I'm gonna go now, keep reading, have some dinner, and I'll check in again soon. All right, bye. Hello, I wanted to do one last check-in before I got in bed for the night. Still reading Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. I'm on page 236, which is chapter 20. Storygraph says I'm 49% of the way through. I don't really remember. So I read a little bit, obviously, since I last updated you. Okay, we are full on in the witchiness, which I love. Rose, gruesome scenes, fingernails being pried off. That just like makes me cringe thinking about something happening to my fingernails. Blah. I don't really know. There's not like a huge update since last time I updated you, but halfway through, still really, really liking it. Still really gruesome. Really feel for these girls. Can't even imagine what it would be like in 1970s. In 1970, being pregnant as a teenager. Like, I mean, I was 25 when I had my son, and I was married and owned a house, and sometimes still looked like I got judgment looks because of the way that I looked, because I looked young. So can't imagine 50 years ago looking even younger, being unmarried, pregnant. Anyway, that was a random tangent to go on to. I don't know. I'm very tired. Very much enjoying this. You met more people in this coven. The witchiness is much more widespread than you're first led to believe, and I like that. Now you're kind of really getting into the meat of it. So this is kind of a pointless update. I've only read like, what, 30 pages since, yeah, like 30? No, yeah, like 30 pages since I updated you last. I just wanted to do a quick check-in before I went to bed for the night. So I'm gonna get in bed. I will read a little bit more once I get in bed. Won't check in again tonight. May check in before I go to work in the morning. Tomorrow is Monday, so I do have to work. If I have anything to say, then I'll check in. Otherwise, it will be after work, after I get some more read. So anyway, again, kind of a pointless check-in. I just wanted to film one more time and wrap up today before I just read some more. So anyway, all right, I'm gonna go read some more, then go to bed, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow. All right, bye. Oh my gosh, my light is so bright. Hey, this is a check-in. Haven't checked in since last night before I went to bed, so it's been a whole day. Got up, went to work, read some more, had dinner with my bestie that I haven't seen since December, so that was really fun. Update on this, almost whacked myself with this. I am on chapter 26, page 302. Storygraph says I am 63% of the way through. It's going really well still. There was a scene just now where like Fern was looking out the window and there was creepy things in the trees outside the window. And I was like, yeah, that's why you don't look out windows at night, okay? Because the creepy thing is gonna be there and then it's gonna scare you. That's one of my biggest fears. Not biggest fears, but that's one of my fears is like looking out the window at night and the thing is right there. Anyway, I don't really remember, like I've read a lot, but I don't remember what I said last time I updated you because it's been a whole day. I'm still really enjoying this. Once again, Grady Hendrix is just funny, but horror, but campy. Again, oh my gosh, oh, I just remembered there was this one scene and it was gruesome and graphic and blah, and they were like, he like described the sounds of the things that were happening and blah. Gross. Just, it's good so far. It's not scary in like, it's not scary in the way that you think a lot of horror books would be scary, but this is a witch book, and I feel, at least the witch books I've read aren't scary in the same way. So like, it's horror because there's definitely like graphic, gruesome scenes, some body horror, and it's about witches and like evil and magic, but it's not like creature feature. So at least not yet, like nothing is coming after these girls. So you're not scared of for their lives. You're not scared that something is going to come and attack you. I like it. Continue to like it. I don't really know where it is in my ranking so far. I mean, I haven't finished it yet, so I don't want to rank it. Again, my number one Grady Hendrix is My Best Friend's Exorcism. This does not beat that. Right now, it might be tied with How to Sell a Haunted House and this one. I really liked How to Sell a Haunted House. I'm really enjoying this one. Although I also will say I have been having some really weird dreams about like pregnancy and people being pregnant and being pregnant, because this is all about girls being pregnant. And I don't know, I just had some really weird dreams last night about being pregnant. And I'm not, and I don't want to be again, please and thank you. I already have my 2 children, I'm good. Tangent. All right, so it's been a very long Monday. I cannot stop yawning. I am going to go get ready for bed, get in bed, read some more, and check in. I'm hoping to finish this tomorrow. Again, 63% of the way through. So I have, what, like 80 pages left? I have a little less than 80 pages left. Because it's... No, I have like close to 75 pages left. I should be able to do that tomorrow. I'll probably try to read a little bit before work, and then I do have to stay after work. I coach a Girls on the Run team. You may have seen me wearing one of those shirts. So we do have practice tomorrow. I am rambling because I am so tired and so ready for bed. So I'm gonna go. I'll check in tomorrow. Hopefully I will check in after I finish this book. All right, talk to you later. Bye. Hey, welcome back. I am sorry if you can hear my son in the background. He is playing video games on the other side of the wall. That's him right there. I am checking in for Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. I'm dumb. When I was doing math last night, this is why I don't do math, I somehow was calculating that I had 372 pages. So I was like, oh yeah, I have less than 75 pages left. No, I have 470 something pages. So I have almost exactly 100 pages left now. I'm on chapter 31, page 372. Storygraph says I'm 77% of the way through. So yeah, just math is not my forte. I don't know what I was thinking. My brain was just apparently fried last night. So I have almost exactly, I think I have exactly 100 pages left, possibly 101. Really liking it. I read some more before work this morning, and it was like a really creepy, scary part where, like, I know I talked last night about the things outside the window and you're like, "Bleh." Well, there was a part last night, or the part this morning. There was a part I read this morning that was like someone outside trying to get in, and that was just, blah, creepy. Finally made it to the birthing scene. What is that? Having given birth twice myself, I thank goodness that giving birth in 2010s and beyond is not like giving birth in 1970, if that's what it was like. Graphic, horrible, what the heck. Some more creepy parts, some more like descriptive parts, sorry. So I mean, like, this isn't really a spoiler because, you know, obviously Fern is going to go to the hospital. She's going to have a baby. She's giving the baby up for adoption. That's why she's staying in this home. So she just left the hospital and left her baby at the hospital and gave it to someone else. So again, I have 100 pages left, really liking it, really creepy part this morning. I just wanted to hop in while I was still thinking about it and tell you that I'm dumb and did not math right and actually still have a lot more book of this left, a lot more of this book left than I thought I did last night. So, I'm hoping to finish it tonight, but I don't know if I will. I will definitely finish it tomorrow if I don't finish it tonight. So I'll check back in. Unless something huge happens, I don't plan on checking in again until I finish the book. So I guess we'll see if something huge happens and I have something to say, or if you see me again after I finish the book. I don't know. I don't know yet. It's all up in the air. But that's it for now. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hello. Welcome back. I finished Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. Really good. I love it. I just really like Grady Hendrix's writing. I know I said that earlier, but I'm a fan. Hello, here is a final check-in, an outro, if you will, for my horror reading vlog. I think I gave all of these 4. Not gonna lie, it's been a minute since I read them. Well, I finished Witchcraft for Wayward Girls yesterday, but the other 2. So, Pen Pal. I enjoyed this one. It was creepy. I think it was a lot scarier after you finished and thought about the whole thing, like the book as a whole. It did have some scary moments in it where I was kind of freaked out and like my heart was racing a few times, but I think the overall story is what's scary after you sit and think about it. Wake Up and Open Your Eyes. I really liked the first and second parts. The second part, the end was like, definitely a lot of gore, body horror, people going down a crazy rabbit hole. The third part was just a little slow for me. I didn't care as much, and the ending was kind of like, okay. So, I think I said I gave it a 4. I think it's a 4. I liked it. I don't know if I would read it again, but I did like it. And there were some parts that were creepy and definitely gory. So if you like body horror gore, this one might be for you. Witchcraft for Wayward Girls, I gave a 4. I may bump this up to a 4.5. I really like this one. I love Grady Hendrix writing. I said all of this in my last clip about it, but it's a good mix of horror and comedy and camp. I felt for these characters. There were definitely some parts that were scary. Also, very graphic parts in this one too. And just, I don't know. I liked it. I did like this one. My best friend is reading this too. We're doing a buddy read on it. And we were talking about how Fern is just very naive to ways of the world, and you can really see it in this, and sometimes that got a little bit annoying. Like, I understand she's only 15, so I get it, but sometimes that was a little annoying to read about. Read from that perspective. Yeah, I think I might bump that one up to a 4.5. I haven't decided yet. Right now it's a 4. So, this was a fairly good, reading vlog. 4 is a good solid book. I enjoyed all of these. It was rereads for a couple authors. I'd never read anything by Nathan Auerbach. Again, have been wanting to read that book for years and years, so finally got Pen Pal read. I'm excited about that. And I can't wait to read more horror. So now I want to know, have you read any of these books? What did you think? All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.